Why don't I draw gay sex? I'm David Hayward, your Naked Pastor. So, many of you, if you have been following me at all, know that I've started a new series on Sundays called Sexy Sunday, where I address purity culture. And of course, purity culture being all about sex and, preserving women to be virgins until they're married, and men as well, but, we'll forgive them if they're not. But so I've just the whole purity culture where there's no sex or any kind of close intimacy or anything before marriage, and how, a woman is basically the sex slave of her husband, and, et cetera, et cetera. We can go on and on talking about that. But, so what I have been doing on Sundays is drawing cartoons where I expose the ridiculousness, unreasonableness, and the harmfulness of purity culture. And of course, my cartoons are therefore sexual in nature, but they're you can't see anything, and but it's obvious what's going on, and where there's couples and they're dealing with shame or guilt or fear or the belief that there's angels present, or God himself, or themselves, or previous lovers, and etc., etc., and so on it goes, right? And so I'm having a lot of fun with it. They're my most popular cartoons right now, and I'm really hearing from people that it's helping them in a deep way, and they're very, very grateful. So I'm going to keep this up until I have enough to put them together into a book. And I'm going to include some that are not safe for work, or not suitable for work or whatever, and for your eyes only. And I'm going to have it, a warning that, 18 plus or whatever, years of age. Because, I believe we really need to talk about sex and be open about it. And, it will liberate us into a healthier position. I said position when it comes to our sex lives. And anyway, so one of the things I've encountered, however, is that my gay friends and trans friends and whatever, they've contacted me, some of them, and said, look, we were loving your Sexy Sunday cartoons. And of course, they have been victims of purity culture themselves, but they would like some gay representation or trans representation or whatever in these Sexy Sunday cartoons. Now, I'm like, I totally agree, I totally get it, but I'm reluctant, and I've talked to my gay friends, my trans friends, and explained this. Number one, I'm already accused by a lot of people that I am exploiting the struggle of the LGBTQIA community with my art. Me being straight myself, even though I think I'm on the spectrum, I am not, what I seem. Although I'm married to a woman and we're in love and everything, like I believe sexuality and gender is a spectrum anyway, and I'm on there, and like I think everybody is somewhere, right? But a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some have accused me of exploiting the LGBTQIA community through my art and profiting from it at their expense, their expense being their pain and suffering. And so I'm already sensitive to that. I've mentioned in other places that I believe I'm supporting my gay and trans friends, my LGBTQIA friends, with my art. I'm helping them and their cause. I'm changing people's minds. I am doing the best I can to be a good friend. And even though I don't call myself an ally, I work as I think an ally should. And if they want to call me an ally, then that's a blessing that I feel I humbly accept but don't deserve. And so I'm just doing my best through my art. That's my contribution, you see what I mean? Like, I put hours and hours and hours into my art and my cartoons to get the message out there that my LGBTQIA friends deserve a place at the same table and to be served the same food, and so forth. So that's number one. My art is a contribution. Secondly, I do give financially. I support an independent journalist who is trans. I support a woman who is bisexual and who is also Hispanic, brown, and I support PFLAG, and I donate money all the time to marginalized people and groups. So I want people to know that. I don't mention that a lot because I don't want to appear to be bragging. I'm not bragging at all. I'm just stating a fact that people will ask, do you give? And I do give. So I give through my art, I give through my time, I give through my care, I give through the way I moderate the communities on my Instagram and so forth. And I care also by giving money. And another reason why I'm reluctant to draw gay sex or trans sex or whatever is because I do see the LGBTQIA community exploited and fetishized by the straight community. And the way a lot of people and haters comment, I can tell they've got issues. And the fetishization of trans sex or gay sex or whatever it's not cool. And I do not want to get anywhere near that or play that game by exploiting gay sex. I just feel it's not my lane, So like my lane is straight sex with my wife, etc. And so I have no problem drawing cartoons of heterosexual couples or a man and a woman in bed together and doing whatever, talking about whatever. I don't have a problem with that. But when I say if I drew two men together or two women together, I feel like I'm crossing a boundary, and I'm crossing over the line into another lane that I am not only unfamiliar with, but don't really have any authority to address. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very reluctant to draw about something that I haven't experienced in a positive way, and I'm going to get to that next. And I'm being vulnerable here, and I shared this the other day in a post, but often your written part of the post gets buried, right? But I'm going to share it here where I was taken advantage of sexually by an older boy when I was a kid, and by an older boy, like a teenager, sexually, not just once, but frequently. And it wasn't nice. And so, and then also when I was a teenager, a friend of our family's, an older man, friend of my parents, sexually assaulted me. And so, while we were alone in the house, kind of thing. And so, man with man sex for me is very triggering, and I don't want to imagine that or draw it, make it come to life in front of me. So I find that very difficult. Now the other day I drew a cartoon with two women together, which, again, there's that danger of men, some men admit they love watching women together. It's not like that though for me. For me, this is my only option to have gay representation in my cartoons is by having two women. I don't want to draw two men because for me that's painful and triggering. So there, got that off my chest for you, and that's my confession there. And then finally, I did have another point. Even though this is fun for me and important, I feel I'm doing important work here. I know it's triggering for many people. In fact, even though my Sexy Sunday cartoons are some of my more popular cartoons, I also lose a lot of followers. So I know, and some of them are leaving because they're triggered by the whole purity culture thing. because they're victims of it themselves. And so some people are like, you need to be more sensitive. And on the other hand, though, I'm helping people, and this is what purity culture wants. It wants to silence the discussion around sex. So the whole purity culture thing, they want the silence and the shame and the, all that. And so if we don't, we need to somehow move beyond that. So that's why I'm going to continue drawing it. I'll continue losing some followers and gaining some. But we need to talk about this openly and see depictions. I use art to convey. And so this is how I'm going to continue doing it. And I am going to try to figure out ways to have gay representation and trans representation. LGBTQIA representation. I'll try to figure out a way, because of course purity culture has affected the LGBTQIA community in a negative way. You think heterosexual couples wrestle with purity culture. Well, imagine a same-sex couple. Like, not only have you got the whole shame about sex and guilt and all that, but you've got the whole homosexual thing on top of that. So it's like a double whammy. Yeah, I said double whammy. Here you go. That's why, that's my explanation and some of the background on why I'm doing Sexy Sunday, but also why I'm struggling a little bit with, LGBTQIA representation in my Sexy Sundays. But I'm going to figure out a way. Somebody today actually said, hey, what you can do is use your sheep as, instead of, if you're having trouble with people in bed, maybe you can do sheep in bed together. And I have done that before, and that is a good idea, but I'm trying to figure out how to show that the two sheep are male or female. So anyway, and I really appreciate the community aspect around my art, where I don't just draw things. I get a lot of ideas from people and a lot of ways to tweak a cartoon or create another iteration of it. And it's really a community effort, and I really appreciate that as we try to bring ourselves to the full expression of our authentic selves and our liberty. So it's all very cool. So much love to you all. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you on one of the platforms. Much love.